Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at TEQ Trunks, the transforming Trunks, and we're going to see just how good he is in DBZ Dokkan battle at 100% in the hidden potential system and with level 10 links. Now this was and still is one of my favorite units in the game, and he is technically my favorite version of Trunks we've ever got in the game. In his base form he just raises attack and has 100% attack and defense, but he very quickly transforms by the third turn, and when he transforms he gains additional attack and defense, builds up his attack and defense every single turn, raises his attack and defense on his super attack, and he changes his link set. So his link set becomes Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, Messenger from the Future, Royal Lineage, and yeah, pretty decent stuff. Now when Trunks came out there was a bit of confusion actually, because Trunks came out before the Legendary Goku event. So the hardest event we had in the game at that point was Super Battle Road and Extreme Super Battle Road. And it turns out with Trunks that we ended up having, you know, basically this like unit that was kind of designed for the Fighting Legend Goku event, but that event didn't exist at the time, so people were a bit confused, but it was really cool. He also has a Sword of Hope form with some pretty decent animations. The Sword of Hope form gains attack and defense based on the amount of orbs you pick up, and also has attacks effective against all types. The Sword of Hope form also unfortunately has, well not unfortunately, but changes orb, and it only changes orbs once, which is the unfortunate side of things. Overall, I think Trunks is pretty good. You can see him here, he has a perfect linking partner. We're going to start from the transform state, as you see that transform state most of the time. Honestly speaking, you see it 9 times out of 10, and yeah, you don't really see like the other forms. Well, you don't see the base form for too long most times. So yeah, definitely Trunks is very solid. I think he's like obviously not a unit that has technically aged well, in a sense that obviously just base stacking and what he brings to the party isn't necessarily the top meta based abilities now. He takes a little bit too long to stack. He's just not really necessarily super duper powerful in regards to like his stacking and stacking mechanisms, but what he does bring is solidness. He's very much like a baby version of AGL Gohan, and I'm hoping when they do give him his like easy A, I am hoping that they kind of really elevate him in regards to like his abilities. I hope they kind of give him the AGL Gohan treatment, because he's very similar in design. Unit that stacks, builds up attack and defense, very strong, and then does an incredibly good job of essentially just being super duper reliable. And he also has a transformation that can do some pretty good damage. Now Trunks' max takes a very long time to build up to. He gains 10% attack and defense up to 80%, so 8 turns it takes to fully build up his passive. That's long, like that's just a long period of time. It's like it's a while. And when he's fully built up, the 300-ish K, 400-ish K defense that he does have with support, it's just not really good enough anymore. Back in the day, obviously, it was incredibly good. It was like a very solid kind of attack stat and defensive stat and everything like that. But nowadays it doesn't necessarily cut it. For the top level content, it's pretty good in these kind of like long form events that you see here, that you see like obviously we're doing here the Fighting Legend Goku GT event. Pretty decent stuff, I would say overall. So yeah, good unit. Just to be like at the very top, still needs a little bit of a push and an EZA probably. So when he does get an EZA, it's going to be very exciting. I don't think they need to make huge changes. I think some small ones will go a long way, because the stats will cover a lot. I think either giving him just greatly raising attack and defense is a good call, giving him guaranteed crits in the Sword of Hope form, and giving the Sword of Hope form constantly changing orbs, and I think you're basically done. Maybe some more minor changes, but I think realistically you're actually just pretty much done then. So I don't think he needs a lot to be a very good unit. I just think the time it takes for him to reach his max capabilities needs to be reduced ever so slightly. I think once you do that, then he'll be sitting in a very good position overall. But yeah, you can see he builds up to a very decent level still. Any long form event, he's still a solid option, or at least especially if you put in as much effort as I do with this. So definitely something to consider, at least from my aspect. So yeah, I would say that. And then outside of that, probably like, how can I say, I don't think there's anything else really to consider with him. I think he's overall pretty good. His link set is decent enough, solid coverage, Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, prepared for battle, gives him pretty decent coverage. Royal Lineage gives him good coverage in terms of key links. Messenger from the Future, obviously for a future based team. Yeah, I think overall he sits in a very solid position, if not a incredible position. I think he's just a very good kind of unit that exists in a very solid state, and he only needs a couple tweaks from his EZA to really kind of be like I would say a top exciting unit again. And I really do look forward to that. Leader skill, Future Saga, Super Class is all very good coverage, and just needs a little bit of a boost to really be something great. 180% Super Class lead would be pretty heavy metal, and 103% Super Class lead would also be pretty good, at least in the long term. Outside of that, that's kind of it. In terms of links, he's well covered by things like Fierce Battle, Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Prepared for Battle. All of these are good links, and they give him solid enough coverage along the spectrum of units. It's always good to have a decent kind of coverage, and I think he kind of excels in having that decent level of coverage across the board. I think a lot of the times when you look at the unit, you're like, wow, okay, who can he link with, who should he link with, and in this case, he is solid enough realistically to kind of really sit in a position where he's got good enough coverage across a wide spectrum of units. He shares like 4 links with AGL LR Gohan. I think that's something that's incredibly good and that you need to consider. That's something that's very, very good. And I think overall, it's plenty of units like that where he's got 3 or 4 solid links with them. Royal Lineage, Messenger from the Future. Obviously, those links are a little bit more, how can I say, a little bit more on the dicier side. But I think overall, you can kind of accept that he's got a very good link set, and he gives himself enough coverage to be a solid option with a lot of units. Obviously, ideally, I think you want to probably run him in the section of second slot unit more so than first slot unit. I think that's kind of apparent, but to each their own. Maybe with his EZA, if they give him guard or something, then he'll be able to run in a higher position. But I think in the long run, you're probably looking at him being a very solid second start unit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously I think overall he's a pretty good unit. So yeah, but that's gonna be it from me. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and yeah, I think at the end of the day he's still really awesome, and with some tweaks he could be great. Bye.